Good evening and welcome to the Team 7 podcast. My name is Logan. I am accompanied by my friends Asher and Zach. We are covering the the Chunin final rounds, episodes 60 through 66. Fumbled the words there a little bit, so that's always fun. But we can just go ahead and start exactly where 60 starts and where we stay for the next few episodes. Naruto and Neji. What did you guys think?
Byakugan is cool. I liked story on this one. We got some backstory on the Hyuga.
Yeah,
that's all.
It's yeah, that's it. Super interesting clan. I think that especially as the story develops, there's just so much lore about all of the clans. So the Uchiha clan and the Hyuga clan and others that we'll learn about, but those are kind of the two that we've really been heavily exposed to.
I'm assuming
so far
there's going to be more, right?
Yeah.
Or is that just the only two? I think
no, there's definitely more.
Let me tell you something. Can I just tell you something? I'm not planning. Sure. I'm not planning on having kids. My wife and I don't want kids.
Same.
But if there was some guarantee that we could have a kid who came out looking like little baby Hinata, absolutely. It was the most adorable child that I've ever seen. All right, Zach, what do you got?
I for sure appreciate the backstory of the Hyuga clan. It definitely gave me some answers that I've been kind of curious about with, the previous encounter with Hinata and Neji in the preliminaries. But yeah, I feel like there's some context for why Neji is so bitter and why he's so readily just critical of anybody's destiny. So yeah, I thought that entire arc was very enlightening, is what I'll say.
It's certainly like semi-valid, I would say, but I do like that Naruto is kind of there to put anybody in their place who's like, I don't know, somehow reliant, whether it's mentally or emotionally, on like destiny rather than, I guess, more of the Rock Lee thing where it's hard work. I feel like he's kind of this like middle character or something where he's sort of in the middle of, well, I have this like demon inside me, but I'm not going to rely on that. And, I'm going to work hard. And does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying. Definitely. But
I
really like this fight. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, going into the same thing about destiny, like he was super quick and eager to tell Naruto he can't be what he wants to be. And that's probably because he's not been able to experience that himself. He's been locked in, a bird in a cage is what he described it as. And it's just, there's so many times in these 6 episodes where I was like, the writers of this show are just geniuses. Because there's like little pieces that just kind of connect dots across the board. And one of those for me in this one was like, because he's so jaded to being stuck in this cage and everyone else has to be as well, it kind of unlocks Naruto's cage in front of everybody, which was, set up with Jiraiya in the previous group of episodes that we discussed. And so just seeing, his training come out at one point when he's talking about the pervy sage, but that would never have happened if Neji hadn't pushed him to that point, because Naruto went into that. And I'm thinking Naruto is going to be like, all right, I'm going to show you this frog. I'm going to show you, this fox that's locked inside of me somewhere. I'm going to come out with some new tricks. But he kind of forgot that stuff for whatever reason. And it hadn't been that long. I mean, I know he was in the hospital and all that stuff, but.
Well, and the risk reward there for that, because he summon Gamabuta, but that was once. And
Sure.
to be able to do it again, he had to get to the point where he could access his like red chakra as we know it. And that takes a minute to get to one. And by the time he did end up getting there, he was so um enraged that that wasn't really like his motivation at that point wasn't to summon Gamabunta. It was just to fight him himself.
Yeah.
So that that definitely changes why, because you would think that he comes rolling in, summoning a huge frog, and lets everybody know what's up. I think that that would have been sick.
Yeah,
But
for sure. But I didn't expect him to do that, but I also didn't expect him to like forget all of his training in the last couple weeks. But Neji, being where he was at mentally, pulled that out of Naruto eventually. And
yeah,
that's just incredible writing, in my opinion. There's a couple other points that I'll bring up later, but that stood out pretty prominently for me in the first 3 episodes at least.
it's good. I like that. Yeah, the whole fight is it's interesting, right? Because like they're down there and they take all this time to like speak to each other and like everybody can hear them and but they're like speaking normal like volume. And I just think it's really funny. Like it's just one of those like suspension of reality things that you have to have for storytelling. And but whenever you start to like really think about it, it's just awkward. But I still like it. The fight's great. Um there was a point in the fight right before he like goes under the into the tunnel. At that point, did you guys expect Naruto to lose? Did you expect Naruto to win or lose going into this? Like, did you think about it at all?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I figured he would lose. For some, I don't know. I don't really know why necessarily, but looking back on, I think it's because I was thinking that Neji is just a little bit, not necessarily stronger, because I don't know that people at this point are stronger than Naruto, especially with the red chakra. But I guess it's maybe more of a discipline thing. Like I had a feeling Neji had a better handle on his own abilities to where he was gonna like maybe not hand it to him, but I just didn't expect him to lose, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And
like Naruto, while maybe being the strongest, like can't exactly like harness that.
yeah, harness is a really good word there too. And Zach, when you mentioned that, you mentioned something about Naruto like forgetting his last couple weeks of training, and that to me seems kind of on par for Naruto, who maybe has some trouble like focusing or remembering things or something. But I mean, then at the same time, like there are people in the stands saying, how has he mastered this like shadow clone jutsu? Because that's like a Jonin level thing, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought I just went into it thinking like he's probably gonna lose like that, and it also seemed like because I've come to expect the unexpected a little bit. This is like we all texted about this a little bit. This was one of those moments where I was thinking it would be unexpected for him to lose, but then wait, am I expecting the unexpected? And it's like playing reverse psychology on my own brain. So then I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna watch it.
You'll
The
never
same
know.
the same thing happened to me. I whenever he was walking out, I was like, yeah, Naruto's gonna lose. And then all those trust issues came back and I was like, nope, he's gonna win. And I couldn't decide the whole
Yeah,
time, especially when everyone was like, no, Neji's got this one in the bag. It's a sure win. I was like, yeah, you want me to think that. But
right.
I don't know. It was a confusing one for me. I was on my toes for this one.
I love that because thinking back on it, I don't really remember this like for the first time. if that makes sense. Like I don't remember watching this part specifically week to week being like, I wonder if he'll win. But because I know the story, I just kind of expect it, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense for Naruto to win. And I think that, the characters also share that sentiment. I think everybody was very shocked. But overall, I think that sometimes we come to like expect the main character to fail early on, like almost every time. So it's
That's
like
when they
nice
pull
to
the rug.
see. Yeah, it's nice to see that like he's like having success even just as on him. I can't speak right now. Just on his own.
Yeah.
Like just Naruto, like that was only him, and it was the same with Kiba. I just think that that's cool. Um, cool to see him come through like that.
Well, and he is
Well,
kind of set
another
up. Yeah,
thought.
go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go for it, and I'll speak after that.
Let's try to both go at the same time and see if anyone can catch anything. No, I'm kidding. I think Naruto at this point, to me, was set up as this character who's I don't know the word I'm thinking of. It's not a hothead, but he's a little quick to action without really thinking through it. I feel like at this point, so it was a surprise that he did the tunnel thing, but then at the same time, it's like, God, and this is what I love about anime. Like the characters are growing. Like it's not a sitcom. They're not just
Yeah.
it's not just Sheldon who like changes like 1 degree over the course of the Big Bang Theory. That's a terrible example. Um, but there's so much growth in just 3 seasons. And it's one of those things that I kind of compare this to like what's come to be known as like pandemic time since 2020.
Mhm.
It feels like we've been watching for a long time in one sense because 3 seasons is just a lot of episodes, but at the same time it's like I feel like we started it yesterday.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy how like, we're this is our 10th episode, so a little bit of fun for us, celebration, I guess. We're not gonna do anything special for it, but it is our 10th episode. Um, and that's crazy to me too, that we're this far into it, 66 episodes in at this point, and um that's yeah, I don't know. It just a little trip down the nostalgia lane. But I just remember being in the parking lot, Zach and I talking about this podcast, and he was like, "Would you want to do it?" And I was like, so into it, but hesitant at the same time. But so happy we've done it. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know how we got on this topic this early, but
I
here
like
we
that
are.
you all went back and forth and you're like, "Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it?" And that lasted for like 10 straight days in our text chain. That was crazy.
Yeah, but now we all know that we want to be here because we asked 10 straight days to confirm,
Yeah.
as is the professional way.
Well,
So,
back to the question and evaluation of the match. Something that I echo from Asher is that with with the growth of these characters, like yes, Naruto is a little immature and a little hot-headed. I don't even know a better word for that, Asher, but the driving force for his victory was super wise in my opinion. Even whenever he won, his evaluation of where Neji could go in the face of him being defeated was honestly like inspiring to me because how many people have something in their past that's kind of like hindering whatever they've got dreams for, and they're
Oh,
like, well, I can't
everyone?
do that. Exactly. And it's like Naruto is like, yeah, but who cares, like just go for it anyways. And for him to say that at that age after just winning instead of like gloating and like sure he had his time for celebration and he was dancing around the field, but immediately after winning he was like, hey, listen, free that bird, bro. Like there's no cage needed. Like, and when I'm going to become Hokage, I'm going to change the way your clan views each other. I'm just like, bro,
Yes.
what an amazing victory speech. I appreciated every second of that of episode 62.
Yeah. Hey, to build on that a little bit, I'm still not entirely sure why he wants to be Hokage. And I actually kind of like that because and I don't know that they've mentioned it, and maybe I'm just like dumb and didn't catch it or didn't hold on to it in my brain or something, but it makes it a little more about his journey, which I'm really here for. But I'm still just not entirely sure what the motivation is. I wonder if it's like, I want to be what the third Hokage was to me for other people or something like that. Cause I mean, he's kind of showing that side to literally everyone that he meets at this point. Um, and by that, I just mean like he's being very relatable to everyone and kind of seeing them for all of who they are, not to get like too deep with it, maybe, instead of just, I mean, he could have said, well, Neji, you're an idiot because you think everything's destiny. Like, screw you, dude. I'm going to beat you. But instead, he like kind of saw the whole thing. And he was like, well, I don't agree with that, but I feel like he gets it. Like, because of what he's been through, he really understands people. Other
Yeah.
quick note is I really liked when he said, free that bird to Neji, and then Neji flipped him off. That was like my favorite part of this whole 6 episodes.
It's a weird part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really out of
I didn't
character for the
know.
show.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to answer that? Because the show has told us
Really?
why Naruto wants to be. Do you guys know? If neither
I
of you know,
don't.
we can just leave it. Huh?
I'll unplug my headphones. I don't want to know because I
Okay, well then
forgot.
we'll leave it. No worries.
Wait, but it has been
You'll
said?
learn. Yeah.
Like, has he said it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I gotta go back and watch.
No, it's fine.
I
I don't
mean,
remember at what point he said it, but he says it a few times.
is it just for like virtue? Because I don't see it as like,
You can't tell me you don't want me to tell
yeah, I
you and
know.
then ask me that.
I I didn't mean it like that. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, same. I do want you to tell me, but you can text it to me later, or maybe text me
Yeah, I'll just tell you another time.
if you know like what episode it is. I'm gonna go back and watch it.
I
'Cause
definitely
can't Google
don't,
it.
but it's like he says it a few times, but like he'll say it again.
Okay,
Like it,
then I'm not too worried
yeah,
about it. It's
yeah.
it's still
So
weird that it's not stuck in my head.
It's not a secret.
Okay.
it is to me.
Yeah, it is to you because you chose that.
Is it for is it for the lay days? Is it for is it to find him a woman?
No, it's not that. I'll tell you that. It is not that.
Well, I can just see the foreshadowing of Neji and Naruto if Naruto ends up becoming Hokage, whatever number he's designated, to where, the whole destiny talk is going to come up later in another episode. I'm going to be like, dude, this feels like Harry Potter or something where it's all connected in that way.
He made his
But
own destiny.
going back to the actual battle, I've just got to give my props to Naruto on this one because of the planning and strategery that happened. Because it fooled me. I'm not going to call it trust issues because I ain't no fool, but seeing Naruto on the ground like that in that little hole that he dug, I was like, my boy used up too much chakra. And next thing you know, he comes out like Creed. Can you take me? I'm gonna
God,
do a little
human clay over
cut.
there. God help you
So
for
let's
making that
go
connection.
there.
Oh man, that is great.
Yeah.
I think this was my favorite battle up to this point in the show, and then there was another battle that I liked even more for different reasons, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah,
A good one.
Yes, a very good one. I still throughout these episodes, I really liked seeing the other characters hanging out together and again just kind of building that world because I think I think in a different kind of show, it would have been a little too focused on the battle and maybe easy to forget that there's like a whole world around them that's going on. And then do we see, I'm looking through notes here. We did see Kabuto during these three, like 60 through 62.
Yeah. He
And he's in the cat mask, right? Like he actually
Yeah.
heals
we see that
Hinata,
he
right?
took out a Anbu Black Ops member on like a tree outside the stadium, and then he's inside the stadium watching
Yeah. He's kind of
whenever Naruto's fighting.
and
And then
bad.
he helped Hinata, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was still like way messed up from that fight, apparently, and like coughing and bleeding, and then he comes up and like helps her, which
Yeah.
is really confusing. Is that because, and you don't have to tell us, but would that be because an Anbu would just be that helpful to someone in need? If that would be a
Okay, so
tricky
I want to
answer,
say this
don't
first.
tell me.
So I don't know. Like I don't have evidence of like uh arc or something that's like explained one way or another.
Okay.
So I don't know. But my gut and my leaning tells me that no, it would be pretty out of character for a Anbu Black Ops member to like stop and just help. But I don't know. I don't know. If somebody's watching or listening, tell us,
Yeah.
because that's
I'll tell
interesting.
you
I've
right
never thought
now.
of that.
I'll tell you right now, it's definitely out of character. That would never happen with an Anbu Black Ops member.
You know for sure.
No, I'm
It
totally
definitely
kidding.
it definitely wouldn't happen. Excuse me. It wouldn't happen with like Kabuto, right? Because I just can't. That for some reason has bugged me about these episodes since I watched them. Like, why would he choose to be so helpful? And I wonder, since he's such a manipulator and has, whatever his ulterior motives are, it seems like maybe he's just playing some other bigger game, and he's like, well, I saved this person, and maybe it's in his head. I just imagine it's maybe some kind of point system where he's going to use that as like leverage later.
Like he's playing both sides so that he can be like, remember I did this for you.
Yes,
I see.
exactly.
And I
Yeah.
have that same theory specifically because it's part of the Hyuga clan. Because
Ooh, big power.
big power. And I'm going to be fully honest here. I am pretty confused with this whole master plan with the Kazekage, with Orochimaru, with Kankuro and Gaara. I'm just like super confused. And I don't think I'm going to know that answer till I see something play out. But that being said, with Kabuto, that was my thought is like, if it was anybody else, I don't know that he would have cared as much. But because it's Hinata, he's going two angles there. He's got Naruto and he's got the Hyuga clan saying, well, I saved your daughter. You owe me one, or, whatever else could come about that. But I've also found that specific piece super weird because why draw attention to yourself if you're trying to be in hiding as someone
That
who's
too.
this like super ominous ninja that hides his face forever? Why try to heal somebody? Why help? And especially with Kiba, who was already suspicious about this Ambu Black Ops member. I feel like because Kabuto is so observant, he probably knew that Kiba was
Like
on
high
his
alert.
radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm confused about a lot of this stuff.
And another thing, I don't think his hair is actually gray.
Whoa, man.
You think he's dyeing it, or you think that it's a different color?
He's
Like
dyeing
you
it.
think that it's like white?
I
Oh,
think,
okay.
yeah, it could be any color, but he's dyeing it for sure. I think he wants
Gotcha.
to be older. He's like jealous of the adults in the room.
Oh.
Yeah, he wants to be more grown up. That's his whole thing
You
with
think
all
Mm.
of
he's
this.
using Just for Men touch of gray?
Yeah. All right, chat, we cracked it.
So moving on into episode 63. I think Zach, you had brought it up a little bit ago, talking about how Naruto's like empathy basically had helped Neji to uh come out of his cage. And I think that 63, most of the episode is really dedicated to showing Neji, like, for lack of better terms, leaving that cage and also like getting quote unquote permission to leave that cage in a healthy way because of Hinata's dad, his uncle, coming to him and telling him the truth and handing him that letter from his father. All of that, I think, releases Neji from all of his previous ways of thinking. Did you guys kind of get the same vibe there?
A little bit,
I think
yeah.
it's gonna. Yeah, sorry, man.
No, you're good. I'll go quick. It seems like that's the beginning of it for sure, or at
From now
least
on, I'm just going to call on you guys like a teacher. So, what do
we'll
you think,
we'll raise our
Asher?
hands.
Yeah.
I think it's the beginning for him to kind of get there, but
Mm,
I imagine it would be tough after thinking a certain way for so long or something.
yeah.
Those were my thoughts exactly. Like, I feel like it's definitely like, I feel like the cage is open, but the bird's like, but what do I do out there?
Yeah.
You know? And if that cage is open, like, I've never even considered going outside this cage, and that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because he spent his entire time being told that he'll never be able to. So, he spent all of his time being mad about that instead of dreaming about what he would like to do. That makes sense.
And if I've learned anything from therapy, it's that anger is a really easy emotion. And then digging beneath the surface of that is like the way harder thing to do.
Mm.
I know
Do you
that
want to get your
sounded like
therapist on here?
I know that sounded like I was being sarcastic, but that was true.
I figured it was true.
Yeah.
I something that just something that I loved about this piece of the story is that I'm indifferent actually because I don't know how to feel. So Hiyashi is kind of keeping the narrative going for so long until Neji, comes to this point. And he mentions it at one point. He says, I feel like someone like you could understand this now. Whereas it's kind of like the Harry Potter understanding of like, if I told you you were the chosen one when you were 5, it's going to go to your head.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that to become a problem. But dude, mad respect for Hiyashi for keeping that secret and probably killing him inside, which is a parallel to what Naruto said to Neji on the battlefield of, "Do you not realize that this is probably eating Hinata up as well? That she's supposedly, this like, you know, inheritor of this thing that she has no clue what she's about to get into." And so,
And she doesn't want it,
no,
you know?
no,
Neither of them
it
asked to be in the position that they were in.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And I feel like if they were given a choice, they'd flop because Hinata seems like she would, you know, die for the cause, and Neji would be the person to lead the charge. But they're kind of in reverse situations. But Hizashi's note to Neji, giving him all that clarity, again, was one of those pieces. I was like, the writers of the show are just they did a good thing.
Yeah. I haven't had a real weepy moment in a while on this show since Zabuza. And when he says, like, the person you are now should be able to understand, does that flashback. And when it comes back to them in the present, Hayashi is bowing to Neji and apologizing, and I was like, whoa, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty big, especially from the head of the clan to like to a member of the branch family. Like it would be beyond shocking. I
And it
would
was to
imagine.
Neji. I mean, he immediately says, "Don't bow to me."
Yeah.
That's the cage
So
talking, though, right there.
that's right. But the tournament moves on, and well, it tries to move on. They postpone because Sasuke is nowhere to be seen, which we have failed to mention because that happened right at the end of last batch and the beginning of this batch. Sasuke's not there. They postpone it, and then Kankuro just flat out quits.
That's right. Yeah, he's like not going to do it, and then
Yeah,
Shino wins. So we were at
yeah.
least saved from having to see any bug action there, which is kind of
I
cool.
that's such a disservice. We missed out on a phenomenal fight.
I think you're right.
And
I do think
because I know both of those characters very well, that fight would have been
epic.
awesome to see.
Which is why I sent you guys the spider Instagram reel.
Oh my
Because we
god,
missed out on all
dude!
the bug action.
Listen to me. I'm not afraid of spiders, but when you send me something where there's like that quantity and that concentrated of a space, and then you see that mama's legs come over and they're as big as my fingers. I know we're talking about an Instagram reel that's only among the three of us, but you have to know that it was disgusting. It was like one of them Australian spiders that's just camel spiders. Have you ever
big.
seen those? All right, that's all.
Yeah, it was big. It was offensive to see. So next is Temari and Shikamaru. One of the best fights.
Before we go there, and I want to go there so bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Kazekage has like a lot of ulterior motives, and it doesn't seem to be hiding that feeling from anyone. What happens with there's someone that comes up to talk to the third Hokage and the Kazekage about postponing versus not postponing, and then that ninja just disappears. What is that? Is that something that I should know about?
By disappeared, do you mean like it basically they turned a few lines and then they're gone?
Yes.
Okay,
Animation
so that is it's and we see it with Naruto at the end of his fight too, whenever he's got the red chakra and then it's sideways lines there. So it'll be like lines for a second. And so sideways lines like that implies that they're moving at like incredible speed, so fast that they're a blur.
Okay.
And the sideways implies that they move to the side. And then the upwards or downwards implies that they move
jumped
most of the time up. So yeah, it's a jump.
Okay. I just wanted to know because I put all these notes about Hayashi and Neji, Sasuke, and then the Kazekage, and then where the F did that ninja go? Like they just disappeared and then reappeared with I don't know the new God, what are they called? Like the referee, they have a certain name for it. Proctor. I don't know what
Proctor.
the new Proctor is called, but he just reappears right next to that person. I jotted it down
I can't
somewhere.
remember his name.
It's not Mechanism of Crow. That's something that Kankuro says, right? That was weird too.
That's what he says right before he forfeits. He's talking about he doesn't want to reveal Mechanism of Crow or something close to that. And
sounds cool. Yeah. I don't know what it is yet.
We'll find out, I'm sure.
Okay, sorry.
Trying to act like I don't know.
Okay, so Shikamaru is now
Shikamaru and Temari.
Possibly the number one character.
Yeah.
For me.
So this is the fight that I remember watching this fight. I remember watching 64 and not being able to finish it and having to wait until the next week to finish it. And by the time I finished it, I was like, Shikamaru is my favorite character. I absolutely think he's so cool. And I jumped ship from Sasuke to Shikamaru like wholeheartedly.
Well, I feel like this is partly writing and partly just a product of how the Chunin exams have to go. But Sakura ain't doing anything, and she's not changing her clothes either. That's a separate point that just kind of weirds me out. But she's not really doing anything to continue being one of my favorite characters. So, dude,
Yeah. Well,
Shikamaru
with
is
this, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go.
I was just going to say, with her being knocked out in the
Right.
tuning exams, like her at her best right now is like, oh, where's Sasuke? And like, or go Naruto. Like it's just like a little like ad lib stuff basically. So not a lot of character development for her, or Choji. A little bit for Lee though. They've made
Yeah.
sure to keep Lee moving.
Man, that was I know we'll get there. I'll talk about it in a second. But anyway, Shikamaru.
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta say,
Actually, I think you're ready to go ahead and
Oh,
I
really?
think that happens at the same time.
You go,
But
Zach.
what were you gonna say, Zach?
I fully respect that you guys appreciate Shikamaru, but he's one of those characters that I can't stand. Like, I'm gonna say this. I
I love
appreciate
it.
Choji more than Shikamaru.
Wow.
Because I could see that tote full of snacks, and I'm like, my man's prepared. But Shikamaru, not only does he get yeeted over the freaking ledge by Naruto because he wouldn't even go anywhere, he's just, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. There's a part of me that's like laziness just doesn't resonate with me. And I'm like, what is the point, man? Like, you're a lazy genius. And they describe him as that. But the whole time I'm just like, you're a waste of my mental space. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
Now you know how I felt
Like,
about Rock Lee. I am coming around to Rock Lee a little bit. And I'm not saying that you should or have to or whatever come around to Shikamaru, but that kind of sums up how I felt about Rock Lee as well. For
This
different
is the
reasons, but a similar feeling, if that makes sense.
This is the content that I'm here for. This is why I decided to do this podcast. Those takes, while I disagree, I absolutely love that you feel that way because I know future things that happen. I cannot wait to see what you think because I'm not saying you're going to change your feeling. I'm not going to, I don't know, but I can't wait to see what you think because I love that you have a different like I like that we're watching the same thing and having different reactions.
Mm.
yeah.
That makes me so happy. So
Well, I'll say this. Shikamaru's not the worst. Konohamaru holds a special place in my heart for that low of a rating. But he's pretty close to,
Wow, that low?
I mean, again, it's essentially just because when he just says, "Well, I give up," I'm like, "No, you don't, bro.
That was
You
so
don't give
funny
up.
though.
You're almost there. Finish it out." And then, they remind us later that there's another exam or another match or whatever. Because
Oh,
Naruto's
yeah.
also like, dude, what the heck? Like he is so offended by it. He
yeah.
jumps down from the waiting area and he's like, are you kidding me? You had it, dude. You were there. And then he's like, are you forgetting there's another match? And I'm like, what does that matter? Like another match, you just got the first one in the bag and you're like, "Hey, actually I don't need it because there's another match." Who's to say you're going to win that one? Other than you're a genius and we all know that now. But at the end of the day, don't just give up, man. You know?
I love that. I I remember being really upset whenever um Shikamaru gave up the first time. And now I think that it's really funny Like when I first watched it, I was just like, why would you give up? Like that is so annoying. I wanted to see you fight more and see who else you would fight and what you would come up with because the way that he won, I was so shocked. Didn't expect him to pull that out. So really like that.
I'm
But now, sorry, I was just gonna say now because I've spent more time with the character, it just is like so on character for him that while I wish he wouldn't have, I appreciate it.
I horse laughed when it got to that point. He was like, "Yeah, I give up." It's so funny. It's
The
such a funny
reason for
moment.
why though, like
He's tired. I'm
we're
not
all
saying
tired,
it's
are we
not.
not?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying it's not dumb. I do relate to it though, and I'm not. Please don't take that as me thinking that I'm some genius or anything. I absolutely do not.
Hold the door for
Oh my
Asher,
god.
everybody.
Yeah, you all should probably go. There's not room for all three of us on the Zoom call. But I don't know, man. I make a list of like this is too much. This is oversharing for me, I think. But I make a list of like 10 things that I need to do around the house, and I get to like number 4 and I'm like, rest can wait till tomorrow. Could totally do them today, but let's just not. It's
Here's
just
my
too
And that
much.
problem.
Too much, man.
I write down all 10, don't number them because I don't know which is the priority. And then I spend all of my time trying to decide which is the most important to do.
see, this probably explains a lot because if we're making lists and I have 10, I'm gonna get those 10 done the most efficient way possible, and then probably try to go for like 14 or 15 because I have extra time.
Okay, I gotta go. Between both of y'all's egos in here, I'm nauseous.
I'm just kidding, but still, like, it's not that extreme. But I do enjoy checking off a good list. I'm a
Mhm.
big fan of that, and so the idea of just being like, okay, here's the list, but I don't need to finish it because at one
Doesn't
point you
compute.
thought you did, and okay, here's another take.
I call
Okay,
that character development, Zach. Things change.
maybe they do. According to Logan's take, there's hope for me and Shikamaru himself. But another piece of this explanation for me is when he's explaining what he chose to be a ninja because he didn't want to do anything. What a
Yeah, so there's a lot. So do you remember how a few episodes ago I told you guys that um it's pretty hard to get tuning even, and it's elite to get joning. A lot of ginning or a lot of ninja are ginning their entire time, and they'll run these errands and they'll do these little missions or whatever, and they're content. They make a living. They live their life. They do whatever they want, and that's it. Um, and that's basically what Shikamaru was after. Like,
C and D class, right?
yeah, just like chilling, doing ninja stuff that's not hard, not dangerous, just like making a living and going back home, like the most low key, just normal life possible for a ninja.
He's got to be that so that there can be Naruto's and Sasuke's in the world, you know?
Yeah.
all I gotta say to my boy Shik, just do it. Like keep 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 on that path, homie.
Get at us, Nike, by the way.
Well, let's talk about Rock Lee coming in and what you guys think
Can
about
I
that situation.
can I
Yeah, I want to
pause?
hear from
I'm
Zach.
doing the same thing that Asher did earlier. I fully appreciate Rockley. We'll get there. But my last piece of writing from from a like fully appreciative, respectful stance was whenever he like went underground through those shadows. The planning that had to take because they're going through the idea of this puzzle and like his IQ is like in the 200s, and then they get to the point where he like the strategic maneuver of like getting her to that exact spot where the hole was, where Naruto went underground and came back up like Creed. The 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 planning and the writing that took. I literally paused and I was just like, man, these guys know how to plan a story, and I'm here for it. I'm fully invested. I think that was like the moment where I was like, these writers they're on a different level.
Yeah.
Back to Rock Lee.
I hate to I say this literally all the time, but I do believe this that it's a continual steady hill up of like that level of detail or attention to detail and like callbacks to stuff that you've forgotten about. Um it's it's throughout I mean literally until the very end of the series. It's so good. Um so my only problem with Rock Lee is I think he forgets that he is not Naruto, and the show's not named not named Rock Lee, and his rival is not Sasuke, and he's not the main character because he keeps on, and I get it, but like he comes in, he's like, I lost to Neji, who lost to Naruto, so I'm worse than Naruto, and I lost to Gaara, who's about to fight Sasuke and all this stuff. And he's like obviously playing the comparison game. And my whole point of this is he's not the main character. I don't know why, but it just feels like he's so whiny at this point.
I disagree.
See,
And I get it. I get it, but when I watched it this time, like I just was like, and I don't know. It could be other things playing into it, like just seeing it again, maybe even if it was just that. But it's just like, all right,
see, now Zach and I can gang up on you because at this point, Rock Lee coming in so injured, just coming to watch and cheer people on, and I thought it was beautiful. That's all I got.
I will say it. Go ahead, Asher.
I was just gonna say I didn't feel a whiny element to that necessarily. Agree, disagree.
I didn't get a whiny vibe either. I got this kid just spent weeks alone in the hospital, and he is so ready to get back out there, and he's desperate to be someone in the ring fighting for whatever it is. Clout, accolades,
Proving
just
himself.
another step, approving himself journey. That is why he had blood coming through the grip of his crutch. Is it meant that much to him? That was what I got from that scene.
Yeah, and I get that. I totally do. I just think that I don't know. I just
Did you get the
need
vibe that he thought he was the main character?
no. I'm just making a joke. Like that. I just mean like, of course you're like there has to be these huge triumphs for like the main characters, and like Rock Lee just didn't get it with Gaara. It was just a joke. But yeah, on a more serious note about it, it's just I think it's just like I I don't know how to put this to words.
Okay, we'll wait while you poop on Rock Lee.
No, it's fine.
I've done
think
it up
that
to this point.
mainly it's just that at this point it just is like he's obviously not going to be able to fight right now. He's like, but he's like still like, why can't I do this? And it's just like kind of just feels like it's beating a dead horse, and maybe it's just because I know what else comes. I don't know, and I'm being influenced by that. I'm trying not to be, but just let me say this: that like at this point in the story, I don't like Rock Lee's character. I just think for
Interesting.
whatever reason, I just don't like it. But I love it up until this, and then immediately after this. But for whatever reason, every time I watch this, it's just like he just irks me some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I've tried to put it to words a million different ways and sat here and fumbled around. So
No, you're
that's my
good.
best attempt.
I think there's something a little serendipitous. I don't even know if that's the right word, but shout out to John Cusack in the rom-com Serendipity. It's a great movie about how Shikamaru has all of this level of talent and just power of mind, and Rock Lee, by all accounts, is just not on that level with those things. And it's so wasted on Shikamaru, and Rock Lee so desperately wants to have like more natural ability. I don't, maybe he doesn't at this point because he is just going to work hard, but I don't know. I'm kind of realizing that just looking back and trying to take some of what Zach said to heart and not just call it a bad take. I mean, it's a bad take, but
What's a bad take? My take?
no, Zach's take on Shikamaru, but
Oh yeah, it's a
I'm
bad
kidding.
take.
But that, I mean, it would suck for me to be Rock Lee. Like, I'm almost glad he didn't see that fight, did he? At all? They
No.
came in after. Am I getting the timeline right?
Oh, I think he may have come in during.
I don't know that Shikamaru's even like on Rock Lee's radar,
Oh
though.
wait,
You know?
I believe that it was right after.
Okay.
I believe he came in right after it finished.
Yeah, because everyone thought it was Sasuke on the sunset, not
Yeah,
Rock Lee. Because when it was Rock Lee, I was like, "What's this guy doing here?"
yeah,
Thought that was Kakashi and Sasuke walking up.
Yeah,
yeah.
same.
They do that.
Also, I know we're kind of getting there, but it was just weird to me that the past two groupings of episodes that we've watched, Sasuke and Kakashi are just like off doing their own thing. And I know it has something to do with the curse mark, or I'm assuming it does. You don't have to tell me because I know we're probably about to find out, but it's just weird. I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way for Kakashi as an instructor, I guess, to kind of send Naruto off. And I get why he did it now, but then spend all that time with Sasuke and Sakura's, just
Well, she
doing
got
whatever.
eliminated.
Well, I know, but I mean, I feel like it was just kind of, I don't know the word I'm thinking of. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way from Kakashi, and I've been big Kakashi fan so far, and I'm
Yeah.
not a Kakashi fan at this point, but that was something I made a note of at this point in what we're talking about through the episodes. That was just like it was weird. It gave me a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I
So
felt like, sorry,
go ahead, Z.
I was just gonna say, I felt like I feel like the curse mark had a piece of that, but I feel like it was more training for the Sharingan because Kakashi shares that with Sasuke, and he could send Naruto this way to figure out this, and I'm gonna go take Sasuke and do this because I can't train them both because they need different things at this time. And so that was just my theory, and I feel like we'll be told that in the next couple episodes. Who knows? But sorry, go ahead, Logan.
They have told us, at least very quickly, with what they're doing and kind of where they're at. We just don't know specifics, but we get little glimpses of it because we see in the last batch of episodes we see Sasuke at the top of the cliff where Kakashi's already training. So we're just kind of like led to believe that he has joined him for training. And then with this batch of episodes, we see Gaara has like uh left his team and then gone and like found them, and they were training in the middle of like the desert, it looked like,
Yeah.
basically. So we will be told like more about that, like a lot more about it. But right now we're just kind of led to believe that he and Sasuke, or he is in Kakashi, are just training in the desert together, and whatever they're doing is a mystery to us. And the as far as the curse mark goes, that's kind of put to bed right now with the ceiling. So like Kakashi's training him to keep an eye on him to make sure that everything goes well as far as like that ceiling like holding up. But there's not much more to be done about it right now. And I think that's just more of they don't have the technology to like deal with it without Orochimaru basically reversing it himself.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
And that's why they sealed it instead of immediately did something else with it.
Now, when you say ceiling, do you mean like Gullible's written on the ceiling?
Where?
Oh my god,
That's high level IQ right there.
I got him. Oh crap. Now what was I actually gonna say? This is what happens. You mentioned Gaara just briefly there, and I feel like we don't get a ton of Gaara, I guess, till the end, except there's one flashback where he says something really interesting when he's like leaving out the door. What does he say? It doesn't matter.
It's something close to I need to like remind myself why I'm alive, or I need to feel like I'm alive, or something like that.
Yeah. But it made me laugh so hard when they go to Gaara in episode 65, and it's like this fisheye angle. It's like he's attached a GoPro right here. I don't know if y'all have seen.
Take the camera.
There's a guy on TikTok that goes like train watching. He's this British guy. You know who I'm talking about?
I love that
He's
guy.
absolutely precious. And there's
Bourgeois.
it's just that angle is hysterical. But Gaara doesn't make it cute or anything.
No. It's like the same angle that they do for the Titan run on Attack on Titan. Like they'll get right in their face for the camera angle.
Can't handle
as if they're filming it, but you know what I mean. Yes. That's it.
Dude, Titan
I just
runs.
have to say that.
I just want to rate different Titan runs. Please go ahead.
Coming soon on a Talk on Titan. Edit that out. We don't want it taken.
Sure.
I just have to say the art in that hallway confrontation with Gaara is some of the most abysmal illustration I have ever seen. And
they spent all their money on other drawings.
Yes. I'm not intentionally being super critical because I know there's so much that goes into these episodes. But the eyes and the mouths of not just Gaara, but those two guys that confront him are just like, what is going on with those eyes? It's just not even just that one scene where it was like the fisheye lens. It was like several other scenes where it's like somebody's in the background and they're just like for like 4 seconds, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Some of the episodes, it just feels like the quality just kind of like dips randomly. But then it pulls itself together. And obviously that gets better as the series goes on. And like, you know, by the time Naruto was in the beginning of Shippuden, it was like worldwide huge hit. So the money for the production like skyrocketed as well. So and there's still some like just quality dips, for lack of better terms. Like it's just like quality dips in episodes just randomly. Just feels like they spent all their money on this like one scene or whatever. So that happens. But overall, it does get better. But there are some absolutely abysmal drawings in Naruto. And there's a few that are coming up. There's a few that have already happened, but there's a few that are coming up that are just like iconic, where like the face is so messed up. It's like, how in the world did that even get past? It makes no sense. So we can look at that.
I feel like it has to do with time too. Like it's not just money, it's also they're trying to crank these out week to week. and maybe somebody got sick, and who knows what happened.
Yeah,
They're
that's a
like
great
having to
point.
scramble to get some of these things done. But the writing is there. I'll say that. They have it in the bag for that.
Mm. Well, coming to the end of it now, uh, Asher, whenever he first watched these episodes, he texted us and he said, my initial review of these episodes, romper. And as soon as you said romper,
Did
I knew,
you knew it?
I knew
Yeah.
immediately. And Sasuke's romper is iconic.
It's something else, man. I'm not a big fan of rompers unless they're worn ironically. I think that's hilarious. Why does he have a romper? Don't tell me. I don't like it. It made me uncomfortable.
What about you, Z?
I didn't even notice he was wearing one. When you brought up Asher's text romper, I was like, yeah, where are we going with this? I don't understand that.
Yeah. He's got a romper, that black romper.
It's so hard to go to the bathroom. That's the main
Yeah,
thing
it's a
I
great
think of.
point.
And I think I wouldn't want something that's attached up here and back here going like all the way around, if you will.
Yeah.
I will say this: I wear rompers to bed every.
Yo, yo, what?
Some
I,
tweed
c-
print romper.
I couldn't finish it, but I was trying to make a joke. But I don't understand rompers either. But I didn't even notice who had a different outfit.
Well, he's not in it very long. Not the outfit, the episode.
Oh God. He get naked?
So yeah. Uh so you'll get to see that more in the next batch, but finally, Gaara Sasuke, what everybody's kind of been wanting to see since like the preliminary exams, really. Everybody was hoping that they'd get paired up there. So, what do y'all think? You excited for it?
I'm very excited for that battle. I'm excited to see Sasuke again. Good old emo Sasuke.
So that'll leave Naruto, Shino, Shikamaru, and then the winner of Sasuke Gaara.
What about Temari?
Wait, what did I say? Temari got beat by Shikamaru.
But I thought he gave
They
up.
have multiple
Oh
matches,
wait,
don't
okay,
they?
yeah, my fault. You're right. You're right. You're right. Do what? No, it's always single elimination.
So then, why does Shikamaru says that there's another match?
He's talking about Gaara and Sasuke. Like there's another match, so they have to get off the field. Is that what you're talking about?
I just realized that that's why he said that just now when you said that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Is that what you're talking about, Zach?
Yeah, I thought maybe they had multiple matches,
Like a
which is
round
why he
robin
gave
thing.
up.
Well, they do show the bracket,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
in
It's
some
a
previous
bracket.
episode. And then
Yeah,
they
they did
adjusted
a
it.
couple times.
But
Yeah.
but Shikamaru's out and it is Temari, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it wrong. He
Okay.
beats her, but he gave up. Um so yeah, Temari, Naruto, Shino, and then winner of Gaara Sasuke. If you had to
I
pick one person right now with the 5 available people, who do you think is going to win it?
Temari.
Okay. What about you, Zach?
My gut says that Naruto is going to win.
I
Oh,
think there's no way that Naruto wins all this.
yeah.
And that's just thinking back to the Neji fight. And that's how I felt there too. And there's this kind of battle going on in my brain that's like, well, he's the name of the show and he's trying to become Hokage and like all this stuff. But I don't think he's going to, I don't actually think Tamari's going to win. Because I think some of the others are stronger. She is a badass character though. But I just don't think, I don't know. See, the more I think about it, it's like, well, Gaara can't win either because then bad things happen. I don't know.
Okay, so who wins Gaara and Sasuke?
Dude, I have no idea.
What do you think, Zach?
I think Gaara takes it. I think that
But here's the thing about Gaara winning, though. Gaara winning means like Sasuke dies. Maybe not. I
Not
mean,
You
they would
think that
they
necessarily.
would
he like
stop it.
kills? Yeah, I think that.
I hope he does. I hope he gets murdered.
You want Sasuke to get murdered?
No.
Oh.
I was just kidding. It wouldn't bother me, but I'm just kidding. Again.
We could hear something else out of Sakura for a change.
Please.
True.
No, I mean he doesn't have to die. He could also
Right.
admit defeat.
Yeah.
They'd step in before, because I mean, Guy Sensei came in. By the way, Zach, you mentioned earlier that Rock Lee was alone in the hospital for all those weeks or months or whatever weeks, but that's not true because Gaara came to murder him.
Yeah, dude.
And here's the thing:
maybe not the whole time, but for the majority of it, I cannot believe someone was
Gaara
sitting
was
there
there.
with him the whole time.
Gaara was there for him.
I think, I think Guy Sensei was there every day.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But on a real note, I think if no one else, someone like Kakashi would step in and be able to stop the sand coffin, if that's what it came to.
We'll
Maybe
see.
not
So-
though. He's the freaking weapon, man. He's the Manchurian candidate or whatever.
Let me ask a question about the bracket. Does that mean that there's only going to be one Chunin?
No, so the third Hokage went over this at the end of the preliminary exams. He talks about how it is a single elimination tournament, but that it does not mean somebody immediately went. Does that mean there's only going to be one Chunin? He said no, actually the opposite. It means that anybody, you could lose your first round match and still become a Chunin. You could win the whole thing and not become a Chunin. Everyone could become a Chunin or no one could become a Chunin. It's basically all up to what they see in your matches. If you win, you get more more opportunity to show what you've got and a better case to prove that you should be a Chunin. Does that explain it?
I of all the things that I keep missing and glossing over and forgetting, I do remember that, which I think is kind of cool because I guess whoever wins essentially gets like bragging rights or something. And I don't imagine if Gaara won that anyone would want him to be a Chunin necessarily. Maybe, well, not even Kazekage, right?
Do what?
I don't know.
Sorry, I yawned.
No, I'm just saying I don't imagine like if he won, that wouldn't mean that Gaara becomes Chunin, nor is that his goal.
Yeah, it doesn't 1-to-1 mean that. Like it doesn't guarantee that. But if you win, you have a pretty good argument for being a Chunin.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah.
I feel like my hot take is Naruto technically wins, but it's overshadowed by the Kazekage and this secret plan coming to fruition.
Okay.
I could see that for sure. Like I think something darker is gonna happen because I don't think there's the rest of a series where somebody wins the Chunin exams and then it's like kind of normal life after that with all of this subversion going on. Kabuto, Kabuto and Orochimaru and Kazekage. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah. We'll find out. Next time we have episodes 66 through 72. So we're going to have 7-episode batch. Yes. And then following that, we'll have a 6-episode batch, and that'll take us out of season 3. So like I just said, 66 through 72. And if you're watching on Netflix where they're numbered differently, it starts with Bushy Brows Jutsu, Sasuke style, and ends with a mistake from the past, a face revealed. I noticed that whenever I was looking through the dub this week and realized that it's probably really confusing to keep up with the episode numbers if it's not just, one consistent count.
Yeah.
And it resets at the season, and that becomes a lot harder to keep track of. So
true. That's good. Titles are good. I like that.
Yeah. So watch along with us, but let us know what you think. There's been a few questions that we kind of got stumped in. Respond and answer those for us. Look them up for us and figure out the answer if you don't already know. But is there anything else you guys wanted to cover? I don't mean to immediately just like sign us out, but it just kind of naturally went there.
I
just feel like this is fitting for the end of the episode. The new outro, feeling like a mixture between Red Hot Chili Peppers and Linkin Park.
Mm.
Dude,
with
I got
just
the
a
Linkin
slow
Park
pan.
vibe for sure.
It's like literally to me a perfect mix between the two bands. But the setting and the coloring was definitely felt like a Linkin Park music video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this outro a lot. I like this song. It's one of my favorites. And the previous one feels like it wasn't here that long. I don't know why, but it felt like it was, just a few episodes of like the little like chibis like running across the screen.
Man, I didn't like that one. I appreciated it.
Pretty lame, but yeah.
It's just strange.
This episode batch really, I think, was one of like the best like breaks for our podcast episode wise, because it was like so much build up in 65. It was like getting really pumped up and like everything for this one fight. So I'm excited to go into the next couple.
That outro was 52 through 64. I feel like that is about the same distance
12.
as it's about
half the
distance.
season.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Sorry, Zach, I keep talking over you tonight.
You're fine, man. I'm not fussed at all.
He is. Well,
I'm not.
Fussy. Could I just point out, I like to at the end point out some of the parts that I thought were really funny instead of interrupting us as we're going through some of the stuff. But
yes,
people throwing garbage at Shikamaru was just really funny to me. And then he has a couple lines in there. My opponent's a girl again. And then he says, no reason a man should lose to a woman. I put, yikes, that's not aging well. But then he says, there's not any reason why a man should rough up a woman. And I was like, okay, heard. I get that.
Heard.
Also,
Yeah.
I guess he's 12, so, and we've seen his dad. Not the greatest role model. I also like that there was some foreshadowing. Oh my God, foreshadowing where Ino mentions like Shikamaru doesn't have any great techniques, but he's always good at strategizing. Like that was almost out of left field, and then they go into more of an explanation there. That was just another thing I really appreciated about these. And Genma or Genma, that's the name of the proctor. I don't know how to pronounce that necessarily.
Can you spell it for me? Oh wait, is that just what you put down, or it's from the sub?
That was from the sub. Genma.
If it's a G, I would assume it's that like hard G, the like Genma. But I don't know.
Yeah, I like Genma. I like all the proctors, man. They got to quit dying on us. Jeez.
I know, dude. I know.
Tragic.
Really, like, what was the last one's name? I can't remember. Was it Canute, or is that from
Hayate?
From Vinland?
What? Corey. Is that what you said?
Corey.
Hayate Gecko was his name.
Hayate. Yeah, Canute's from Vinland Saga.
I could have swore it was Corey.
My God.
Corey. Dude, that's hilarious.
Corey Matthews.
All right. So next week, episode 66 through 72, we will see you there. Thanks for watching along. Thanks for watching this podcast, and tell your friends about it. We're on social media at Team 7 Podcasts. You can find all of our social media under the same name. It's the same at YouTube and everywhere. So just tell your friends, tell your mom. Anybody going to say it this week?
Let's do it back and forth, Zach.
Leave
It.
hate it.
It's
I
not.
hate
It's
it.
not very. It's not a very long phrase. There's only 3
You
syllables.
should cut it. You should cut it
Shoot.
way before this. You should just
There's
cut it.
no way I'm cutting it before this right here.
Believe it.